So on the 6th of March, Jenna Ortega was a guest on a podcast called Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. And during the podcast, she explains how she was disappointed that Wednesday wasn't as dark as she was expecting it to be. And honestly, who wouldn't be disappointed? It is literally Wednesday Addams. And she says that when she actually received the scripts and started reading through all of them, she realized, oh, this is a show for a younger audience. Okay. And it just wasn't as morbid as she was hoping it to be.
That's actually kind of interesting to hear about your 9-year-old too, is because when I actually read the entire series, I realized, oh, this is for younger audiences. But if the broken neck is too much, because when I first signed on to the show, I didn't have all the scripts, and I thought that it was going to be a lot darker. I thought it was going to be more of that broken neck stuff, but then it wasn't. So I thought, oh, okay, I see where we're going. But then it still had the opposite effect, which is really funny to me.
And honestly, I can understand her disappointment, because when Netflix announced the release of this show on September 23rd, I was really excited to watch it. I mean, come on. It's Jenna Ortega, this generation's horror icon. I watched her in Scream. She was incredible. And then I watched her in X. Oh my God. To my younger audience, don't watch that movie until you're my age. But if you're my age and over, go watch that immediately. It is so good. And when you have this generation's horror icon playing an older generation's horror icon, it's a match made in heaven. And yet, as per usual, Netflix fumbled the bag. They always do. Always. I don't know why I expect Netflix to produce anything good nowadays. It's quantity over quality for them. So one of the problems, the many problems that Jenna had with the show, is the fact that she never truly knew what the tone of the show was supposed to be. For example, in the more dramatic scenes, she couldn't be too melodramatic because it was still a show for younger audiences with superpowers and high school romances. But because this is Wednesday Addams, she still had to act out heavier scenes, so the entire show was just really confusing to her.
Like, you might not be able to know what the show is, despite the fact that you're in every scene of it.
Well, that was the thing. I didn't know what the tone was.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the score was going to sound like, or the way it was going to be cut together.
Yeah.
Or when we're doing more dramatic scenes, it's okay, well, let's not get too melodramatic. The show still has superpowers, you know, but then sometimes you do have to push heavier. It was confusing in that sense, definitely.
Then she goes on to reveal that she's never had to put her foot down on the set of a TV show or a movie like she had to on Wednesday. Because it's so easy to fall into that category, meaning a Riverdale type show, especially with the show being made for, I hate to use this word, I really do, but it best explains the audience, tweens. It was made for tweens.
I don't think I've ever had to put my foot down on a set in a way that I had to on Wednesday, because it's so easy to fall into that category, especially with this type of show. Everything that she does, everything that I had to play, did not make sense for her character at all.
Jenna continues to say that everything she says and does as Wednesday doesn't make sense for the character. What with there being a love triangle and all? What? Yeah. A love triangle in a show about Wednesday Addams. How out of character does that sound? This sounds like a show made for the CW. Alright? It does. So the show included a love triangle despite the fact that Wednesday Addams has previously showed a complete disinterest in romance.
Oh, Wednesday's at that very special age when a girl has only one thing on her mind. Boys.
Homicide.
Wednesday, do you think, like, maybe someday you might want to get married and have kids?
No.
But what if you met just the right man who worshipped and adored you, who'd do anything for you, who'd be your devoted slave? Then what would you do?
I'd pity him.
Then she admits that she almost became unprofessional on the set of the show because of how much she was changing lines or just straight up refusing to say things because, simply put, Wednesday wouldn't say that. Then she says that she rightfully became very protective of the character because she didn't want Wednesday to be completely destroyed.
Her going, there was a line about like a dress that she has to wear for a school dance, and she said, oh my God, I love it. Oh, I can't believe I said that. I literally hate myself. And I had to go, no, There's no way. There was times on that set where I even became almost unprofessional in a sense where I just started changing lines. The script supervisor thought that like I was going with something, and then I would have to sit down with the writers, and they would be like, "Wait, what happened to the scene?" And I would have to go through and explain why I couldn't do certain things. I grew very, very protective of her, but you can't lead a story and have no emotional arc because then it's boring and nobody likes you.
I am glad that line didn't make it into the show, even though I never even watched it. Because if I were Jenna, I'd be the exact same way. Not only would Wednesday Addams not say, "Oh my God, I love it," to a dress that she's wearing to a school dance, which, by the way, I have a lot to say about that scene, but we will get back to that. But she especially wouldn't say, "I literally hate myself." Wednesday is just a dark, ghoulish, nonchalant, morbid character. She doesn't hate herself. She hates everyone else. Wednesday Addams isn't a 14-year-old going through their My Chemical Romance emo phase. I hate myself? Oh my... By the way, when Jenna said she thought people would think Wednesday was boring and that nobody would like her character if there was no emotional arc, I personally disagree. A show where the main character is an off-putting teenage girl who has absolutely zero interest in pursuing a romantic relationship? Sign me up! We need more of that! Then in this article written by Radio Times, it says Ortega continued that she initially wasn't even sure the series would find an audience, explaining that she never felt particularly confident after leaving set for the day. On Wednesday, there was not a scene in that show that I went home and was like, okay, that should be fine. She really does not like this show. And you can tell she holds a specific hatred for the one dance scene. I don't even have to show you guys. You know exactly what dance scene that I'm talking about. Because when she attended the 80th Golden Globes, she was getting asked about it left, right, and center. And honestly, I think Jenna's disliking of this scene is completely justified. Because can you imagine not only seeing it being recreated by everyone and their cousins' lizards on social media, but having to constantly hear about it in interviews?
And now you choreographed the Wednesday dance that went viral, right?
Yes, I did.
Can you show me real quick? You was like, I mean, it just came off the top of your head.
Well, you changed everybody's life with some of those moves. With the dance. I'm just saying.
I can't at all. I'm even sad.
Like, she just went on Saturday Night Live today, and this is what she looked like doing that dance. She is tired of y'all! What makes it even worse is that she isn't even happy with the performance of the dance. She wished she had done better. Even though it was incredible, she herself wished that she had done more. So not only does she not like the dance, but she has to constantly hear about it. To end this video on a positive note, news has recently broke that Jenna will be the executive producer of the second season of Wednesday. And I really trust Jenna, because from the sounds of this podcast, she has a deep, intense love for Wednesday, and in the second season of the show, she'll be able to portray Wednesday as faithful to the original as she possibly can. But if I'm being real honest with you guys, this is just my opinion, this is not fact, this has not been confirmed, she has not said this, so don't come for me. But I think that was the only reason she agreed to do the second season. But what do you guys think? Are you happy with the way the show was produced, or do you agree with Jenna and wish the show was just a little darker and macabre? Because I've never even seen Wednesday, so I can't give my opinion of the show to you guys. But I know you guys have some really strong opinions and I want to know about them, so comment them down below. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate the support that you guys have given the channel lately, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Mwah!